What would you do with yourself?
Well, I do have, I usually show up in the morning and I show up in the afternoon, and I might be gone during the day a little bit.
you come to
So we'll get
finance committee.
started. They've started the recording as well, so, good morning
Couldn't
to this
make-
fine Friday Finance Committee meeting.
Tammy, do you have to pass that down?
Yes, please. Oh, I don't think, oh, yes, I do have one.
Is anyone else coming this week?
No, I believe it's just us, so.
Where's the city manager?
He's at graduation at the
Oh,
academy.
that's right, it's graduation academy, okay, yep. All right, so, well, I'm still going through the warrant right now, but if Anne wants to go ahead and get started on her, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a quick meeting.
I think so too, but I just wanted to let you know that, like I said last week, I have implemented a spending freeze, so the warrants are pretty small. I'm trying not to spend any funds that I don't necessarily need to just yet. Anyone I can stall and
Just regular operating costs.
just regular
yeah.
operations and cash flow world. I'm almost done with my CIP. I had a meeting this week with Brent Bridges from Woodard and Curran to go over some historical financial information, looking at how money's been allocated from different funding sources and his perspective on how much we're gonna come in or under budget with some of the projects that are still open. I had another meeting with Ron Smith from the auditing firm to talk about, well, we finished the payroll bridges. It's a two-way bridge, so it bridges back to Munis and then it bridges forward into Casell, since we're in the transition to new software in the middle of this fiscal year. I did the capital request worksheet to outside agencies, if you saw that on the website.
I did.
So this week I did the internal sheets that go to the department heads for any projects they want to do and why they think
For
they
just
want.
capital?
Capital and capital equipment. There's two different sheets for it.
Yep.
I posted the job for deputy finance director on LinkedIn. So actually got a lot of interest right away for it. So I'm going to be going through those today and next week. And then I had another meeting with Brent regarding the clean water and drinking water revolving loans that we've been approved for and how we're going to utilize those next to our capital projects. Still trying to figure out a way to get funding for Red Bridge Road culvert. That seems to be the trickiest one that we have right now. And then I attended the workshop for the end of the year, the GAP update and GASB recommendations, and also the finalization of GASB 100 for restated financials, since we'll probably be doing that. And other than that, I'm just continuing on with my deputy finance director search, trying to get the new payroll into the general ledger now that we have the account bridge, and just keep moving forward with our daily operations. It's just, I have one clerk right now and me. So we have our new AP clerk coming on after Christmas, and then hopefully gotten some good resumes for the deputy. Hopefully I'll have someone to start the new year with as a deputy, help me with all the accounting and the transition to new software. And that's all I got.
AP clerk,
Accounts payable, the people that prepare the warrant.
yeah. And,
Mark?
and then for the clean water, drinking water, funds, I'm just interested, what are some of the projects that?
Okay, so the clean water loan, we were approved for like 8.5 million. So that's all the wastewater
Yeah.
projects.
That's a loan?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
loan at 1%.
I want, okay.
Yeah.
Who's that through? Is it through
Through-
the feds?
Through clean water, through the revolving fund to the state.
Through the state?
I think it's DEP probably.
Okay.
it's federal funds, but they're funded
The
Yeah.
through the state.
It still falls under that reporting requirement, but yeah.
So that's for like our sewer system upgrades and things like that?
Wastewater, if you've looked at, there's a, well, you haven't seen it yet, but you're gonna see it. And that is the evaluation of all of our wastewater systems and the mapping of them. And that's gonna come with the new CIP. You'll be able to see the maps that were created from that and the condition of the pipes in that map. So that's gonna be part of that, so you'll get a good look at, you know, what we're up against.
That's
And then
great.
the 4 different sections and the order in which the engineers think that we should complete them. They'll
Okay.
just kind of bring pictures and,
Yeah, that sounds good.
and a little bit of substance to what you've been hearing.
Is it similar for the drinking water program as well?
The drinking water is gonna be probably the new water treatment plant.
Okay.
And then Oak Street, water mains. So I haven't seen all the allocation, I'm just basically looking at, right now for me, I'm looking at the prices, what all these things are gonna cost, what we've spent on them already, when we spent that money, where we got the money. Some of it was allocated through budget, some of it was grant, loans, bonds. So, and then we'll have a snapshot of that, along with an updated debt service spreadsheet, so you can kind of see where we are on our debt.
Great.
So when we apply for those, we have to be very specific about what we're gonna use the money for. So we know what it's gonna be used for, it's just not in the CIP, right?
It
So-
will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
So-
there, and here and there, and moved around, and like,
Right, so we work with the DEP and, and actually the federal government to a point, but, so, and Woodard and Curran usually helps with it, creating the design and everything, but we're very specific that this is what we need, this is gonna be the cost of it. And sometimes you get loan forgiveness, sometimes you just get a really good interest rate.
1%.
1%, yeah, right, I mean, who gets that? So, that's why,
So this is kind of us saying, here's what we need to do,
Right.
and then you bring it to the DEP and say, this is what we need
Yeah.
to do, and they say, okay, here's that.
right, and then you have to do it.
well, you
And then you have
compete
to.
with.
And you can't use it really for
everybody.
anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back if you happen to be lucky enough that the project comes in under, you can go back and request it to be used for something else, but they're very, you can't get the money and then just say, well, we're not gonna do the treatment plant, we're gonna do this instead. It's-
Okay, great.
A lot of it's reimbursement, so at that stage of the reimbursement, you're having to submit, invoices and engineering reports and what was this for and stuff like that. So
Okay,
Yeah,
it's pretty strict about how the money's used.
okay, and to pay for it, are we using like cans or anything, like, or is it, if we're
We're-
getting reimbursed, is it coming out of our, so. if
It'll
it's-
just go back into that
Capital.
fund.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
they usually pretty good about that.
Okay.
So right now,
Are
I'm
we doing
working,
Davis Bacon wages too? Do we have, with those loans?
I have no idea what that is.
Davis Bacon wages are, when you have federal funds,
Mhm.
you have very specific wages that you have to,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, so.
I know it's a
expensive, and then you
requirement.
have to- you
Oh,
have
and
to have
it's-
a audit,
Very challenging,
yeah.
especially for the contractor, so usually that increases the cost of the contract because of the additional work that you need to do on, doing the auditing for, Davis Bacon, oh, oops,
They
sorry.
have to submit weekly time cards, tests, and things like that
Yeah.
to prove that they're paying Davis Bacon wages.
So
Very expensive.
since I've been here, all that's been done by the engineer, and all that's been included in the initial bid. It's in all the paperwork about that. I didn't know it was called Davis Bacon.
Yeah,
This one might be called something else now.
I doubt it, that was a lot, that's a lot.
Some senators some many years ago.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, a couple of people that
Yeah.
decided that that's how they were gonna save the world.
Yeah.
I just have a question, and probably there's good reason for it, but from the outside looking in, it may be a staffing issue, it may be everything, but we have a spending freeze, but we prepaid enterprise. And it looked like we could have avoided, when I went through that, it looked like we could have avoided paying $46,000 of that $72,000 bill. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. But I'm wondering about that, because one side we're spending freeze and one side we're prepaying. So that's just a very polite question, please.
I think I have the wrong room.
Oh,
Just a very polite question. Don't take that
I
in
mean,
any.
Basically, it just came down to the administration of that contract and the problems that we were having with the vendor of getting us correct invoices. So I said, just separate it out into the 3 pots of money and let's just be done with it.
Okay.
Because it was going back and forth for weeks. I mean,
Okay.
we started this in August, and it
Okay.
just got paid because we couldn't get the invoice from them.
Okay, okay. I figured there must be more to the story, but when I heard both in the same meeting, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
good. Understood. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Is that all you have?
That's all I know. My life's exciting.
so starting like at the beginning of the new year, if we can start having like a piece of, I think we talked about it last week, a piece of like, let's look at the highway capital.
Yeah.
And then the next week we can look at police or public safety, that sort of thing. If we could start having that once a week, that would be great. So at least just getting a general idea.
Yeah, as I get those,
Houses.
you'll have them.
Okay.
Okay.
Pine Tree Waste, is that who does our pickup? for-
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
That's our contracted price for them to go and pick up Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah, okay, and so, we buy the tags at Hannaford's or Josie's or whatever. Do they pay for the tag, the retailers that sell the tags? How does the city get payment?
So either they get billed or they come in with, say $1,000. They get a 10-cent discount on the tags. They have to buy them in lots though, like
Mhm.
100 or 500. A lot, like Hannaford will come in and buy a package of them, and so we get the cash and we record the
Yeah.
revenue at that time.
Okay, so they buy the tags and then they make 10 cents a tag.
Yeah.
And then, so that money that we get for the tags goes into whatever fund and then pays Pine Tree.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. See, I'm learning
It's
all
not,
kinds of
it's
stuff.
not
Not even close
completely
to-
self-sufficient, and so it is subsidized by
It
tax
is,
dollars,
okay.
but we're trying to get closer, but those contracts keep going up. It's just
Yeah.
crazy how much money.
Yeah.
Like $200,000 didn't it go up from one contract to the next? I
It
wasn't
was
on the
bad.
council then, I was like,
It was bad.
what? So,
And is that related to just the what's going on with PERC and MRC and all that, just issues, or is that just costs are going up for waste
Just,
disposal?
that one was because they held a contract for quite a while that was really, they were underpaid.
Okay.
And so they kind of made it up, I think. And it's more that they, because there's no one else to do it.
There's no one else, yeah, so I'm asking if you're gonna have
Yeah.
any
Person-
companies around here that do
Yeah.
that.
I remember their
So-
explanation was that, just what you said, that the 70, wasn't it 72,000
Yeah,
or
it was
something?
really, it was.
That really, that was the wrong number. And I'm guessing the new number was probably the wrong number too. It should-
Yeah.
It should have been
Somewhere
somewhere
in
in the
the
middle,
Yeah.
but that's the way it went.
because were they the only ones that bid?
As I recall,
Yeah.
you were there at that point too.
Pine
Pine
Tree
Tree.
Waste.
The waste.
Plus it's.
Pine Tree Waste.
Such a big area that they have to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Said, were they the only ones that bid when it came time for the contract for pickup? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so we were kind of
That's
stuck.
because I was actually at the meeting when he presented.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It, probably both numbers were wrong again, but whatever.
So I can say thankfully, we are at PERC and not, because is that,
PERC is closing.
it is closing?
It's all a mess.
Yeah.
Doesn't, there's no good place right
Oh, why do we not know?
Because they were selling Gotta read the Bangor Daily.
I guess. In my spare time.
Because we're not
I
part of the
guess.
MRC.
We're not,
No.
yeah, that's what I thought.
And so we were using Park, but I don't know if they're closing or if they're selling.
Okay.
The truck.
They've sold,
The
they
truck.
went to auction, and supposedly it's supposed to open up in January, February.
Good grief.
We'll see, yeah, right.
All right, I better read up on
It's
this.
like the MRC, honestly, that plant.
And then the industrial road Ellsworth, like, I was just, rather than me flipping
That's the
through-
solar.
That's the solar,
Mhm.
Thank you, because I had that marked.
Yeah,
yeah. All right, perfect.
because I always get confused.
That's
at
buying
name
the
of it.
credit.
We
That's
put
correct.
that one off
Yeah.
as long as we could. It's already like.
Yeah, it's like 40 grand or something.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, and then Console Con Inc., 12,000, I'm just looking at the biggest numbers,
I feel like that was the, maybe
Consult
something to do with like,
Econ?
Yeah,
That's the multi-use pathway,
the what?
multi-use pathway. It's a hiking, biking, pedestrian pathway it's a project that started in 2021, I think, 2022.
Where is it?
I'm not sure.
it's the Rails to Trail, right? Part of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it's part of the.
Can I see that
rail.
invoice? What's?
Yeah, if you wanna find it, yeah, 12,209. Look at that. This one right to it.
You did, that was pure luck. I'm gonna go buy a lottery
You're
ticket.
like a Jedi here.
So it looks like they had a contract for 76,000 and it's 70%
I wonder if we're
complete.
getting reimbursed for any of this?
We're supposed to be. She has a meeting with me, hopefully this morning. I asked if she could meet this morning, otherwise next week.
Yeah, because it looks like she paid some of it out of professional services and some of it out of economic development.
Yeah, as I go through the Public Works files and and I've been putting those files together and pulling in all the invoicing and our spend and our funding, I just got to that project because the bigger water projects I had to do first, but, so I just got to this one and I just spoke to her yesterday about it. So I'm not exactly it's a consultant, that's all I know.
Maybe you could just update us at the next.
Yeah, when I sit down with her, it's, because that's the first thing I asked her, can I get some money out
I
of
don't
it?
think this is, I think this is the business development strategy. Consulticon is who we use for that.
What's the
It's 'cause it's through
object
JANA.
code? Yeah. What's the
Looks like
object
it's
code?
broken up to a different.
And it's broken up in from the.
Because I think
economic
when the council approved it, it was broken up into like 3 different areas.
development. Yeah.
One of my questions is that the PO that I have is only for a third of that 70 some odd thousand.
Because EBDC is paying a portion of it. So she's got it through TIF, EBDC, and professional services, I think. But that's, and you'll be getting I think it's in January. The council and EBDC are going to have a presentation on the
Okay.
results of this.
Okay,
But I'm pretty
great.
sure that's what that is.
All right, interesting. I don't have any further questions regarding the warrant.
Councilor Halloran, do you have anything?
I don't, you answered mine, I was gonna paw through that for the Ellsworth Industrial, but makes sense that it's buying the credits.
Yeah.
Just a big number, like you said.
Michelle, you have anything?
I'm all set.
Patrick, anything else?
I rest in case.
Anyone in the public have any comments? Oh, hi, Mark. Good?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine, I'm fine.
Okay.
I was wishing my son a happy birthday.
Oh, okay,
tell
there
him-
we go.
Tell him to count the finance.
Oh, no,
committee
he
said
has one of
happy
those
Yeah, that's
birthdays near
right.
Christmas.
Are we
All right.
meeting next Friday?
Please say no.
I'd like not to.
We're not gonna have a warrant next week.
Okay.
Okay, bam, so I will talk
You're
to
the chair,
Tony.
you tell me.
We're not having a meeting. How
I
about
have
that?
my house full of, my kids are coming Thursday
Yeah.
night, so I really would like to know.
Yeah,
So
we're
when-
not planning to have a warrant because
Okay.
everybody's gone.
And what about the following Friday? I may be away.
That's okay.
I'll
Okay.
be away.
This one.
I'll be your,
You can fill in?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'll
I'll let
do
you-
my
I'll let-
job.
I'll let you know.
An alternate, that's what I was, or your
My-
proxy.
My goal is to be away that Friday.
Okay.
if I can, so-
Yeah, if you can make it.
Okay, if I
okay,
can
no
make
big
it.
deal.
I'll let you know. Okay, so
All
not
right.
next Friday.
Next Friday, no finance committee meeting. Did you hear that, Mark? No so don't show up here and be like, where are they at?
There is Christmas week.
I don't I don't know. I'm not
Is it
gonna be
next
here
week,
that
Christmas
week.
No, it's the following, it's on
Oh,
a Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
Usually it's Christmas week, if there isn't a,
Yeah, it's a weird one, the way it falls, so.
Yeah.
That makes it tough. Can I borrow a pen?
Give a pen.
I'll have to borrow it as
Steve
well.
always comes prepared.
Yes.
Yes.
I bring a couple,
Yeah.
just in
You.
case.
Okay,
I used to keep them in my hair.
today is the 15th, yes. Where's your other sweater?
I wore it the day we were supposed to.
Let's just say-
It's supposed to do
ugly
it again
sweater.
today?
Yeah.
I thought it was the day of the party.
No, and they said you can wear it again on the, yeah, no, and that email didn't go, well, I look all Christmassy today.
You do, I was gonna say you're
I
a little
think
late,
it's
but
today,
it
the
looks
sweater.
cute.
My, my sweatshirt came in, that's
Christmas
good.
sweater.
That's wicked
Who
cute.
says Christmas can't be fashionable?
And Tina saw me, she goes, that's not ugly. I was like, "Oh."
Thank you, ma'am.
Don't tell Jason we're done.
Oh, yeah.
I can go tell him I need
Hey,
a
Nate.
break.
Do I
We're
have
done.
Sexton right now? Oh,
I don't know if you can hear me.
All right.
All right.
Everyone have a great Friday.
Thank you, and Merry
weekend.
Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
No, I'm so excited. I haven't had my book